The Reelect campaign out with its first ad in May of 2017. What's the strategy? What's the strategy?
He's getting whacked in the media for not fulfilling his campaign promises, and so he's not getting good earned media, so he wants to turn it into good paid media. The problem is that there's some factual inaccuracies in that. Yeah, exactly. Saying that he has the biggest tax cut plan in history, or however they characterize it there. That is a a two-page
tax cut plan. That's his tax cut plan.
On the screen it said,
getting that passed is going to be very difficult, if not impossible, in this political environment. So it's.
Did you see on the screen when they were saying biggest tax cut plan in history? On the screen it just said biggest tax cut in history, which is a little bit different.
Right, there's some hyperbole there.
And claiming credit for 500,000 jobs, which of
I was
course,
about to say that.
nothing he's done at this point is affecting the job market that dramatically. Obviously, it's fair to say he did cut regulations. Fair to say he did confirm a Supreme Court justice, but the economy takes a lot longer to move than that.
And at the end of the ad, they have a picture of him shaking hands with his national security advisor in full uniform, which violates the spirit, if not the letter, of Pentagon policy about wearing a uniform in political ads. That's not General McMaster's fault. I'm sure he had absolutely nothing to do with that. But what is the strategy here? I was talking to a friend of the president over the weekend who said that he's really frustrated, that he thinks he is getting a bad ride in the media. And again, I said to this friend, I said, I don't get a vote on Obamacare repeal. None of us do. None of us get to vote on border wall funding. Right. And he said that he's not getting enough credit for the temperamental, stylistic changes in Washington, and he's mad about it, and his staff is frantic to try to find things to prop him up to keep his mood from
Well, it's so fascinating, of course, because he said that this whole 100-day thing is phony. He said it again over the weekend. It's phony. Well, why, if it's phony, are you putting out an ad? Why are you having multiple briefings, receptions, a web page? If you're buying into the 100-day thing, of course people are going to then evaluate you based on 100 days, and that's what he doesn't want to happen. And so, look, the campaign, it's now, we always talk about the permanent campaign. This is literally the permanent campaign. Right. We are, in fact, 4 years away from the next president taking office almost, and we're going to continue to have a campaign through the entire time, because that's what he was most successful at.
And I don't think you can discount the importance of an approval rating in trying to get your agenda through Congress. A weakened president who is unpopular, particularly in key districts back home, it makes it much harder to sell things to members who are skittish already.
Just as you come into the conversation, to that point, some people have told the president, slow down, go one at a time, get more involved in the details, don't go off the rails like you did with Obamacare repeal effort. But they want to push for a vote this week on Obamacare repeal. We'll see if they have the votes. They put out a tax reform outline. It's not a plan, it's an outline, but it's fine. That's sometimes White Houses do it. It's a perfectly defensible way to do it, especially if the people on Capitol Hill already have a plan. You just send up your outline to say, hey, massage yours toward ours a little bit. It's a perfectly defensible way to do it. And the president says within 2 or 3 weeks we're going to get infrastructure. Listen.
We're going to do infrastructure very quickly. We've got the plan largely completed, and we'll be filing it over the next 2 or 3 weeks, maybe sooner.
Now, there's 535 of them. I've long been of the opinion of saying, why can't they walk and chew gum? Why can't they do more than one big thing at a time? But they have proven consistently they can't.
Right, and it's just interesting that he always seems to be looking like to turn the corner to the next big thing. And when healthcare was going down, he said, we're going to forget this, we're going to do taxes next. Now he hasn't done taxes. I guess we're done with taxes now that he's put out the outline of the plan. We can move on to infrastructure. I think that for Trump, he's mused aloud many times now about how hard this job is, how things are more complicated than he thought they would be, and that it's a lot simpler to have a campaign ad or to be in campaign mode. He's had several rallies that have been straight up campaign rallies, which presidents have never done this early before. And I think that's because that's a mode that's much more comfortable for him, and it's easier to even to come up with an idea, put out an idea, than it is to do this sort of hard work of building consensus.
And he gives himself an A, and when asked then why aren't these things being done, he blames the rules.
I think the rules in Congress, and in particular the rules in the Senate, are unbelievably archaic and slow-moving, and in many cases unfair. In many cases, you're forced to make deals that are not the deal you'd make.
Well, this is the job. This is the job. This is the job. He asked for this job. No one asked him to run. This is the job that he took. And the fact that he doesn't know how to work with the Senate and he doesn't know how to work with the House yet to get things done, that's on him. That's on the administration.